Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Introduce myself. My name is Faiza Tifanusa, Efelin, Sistiana. Today I will present about calculation of production cost using the process cost method in micro, small, and medium enterprises. Cireng Ciwreng, Ungaran. Table of content: the first introduction, the second literature review, and the last is research method. Introduction contains background, problem formulation, research objective, and benefit of the research. Background: micro, small, and medium enterprises play a vital role in Indonesia's economy, contributing 61.7% to gross domestic product or GDP and employing 96.9% of the national workforce, with 64.2 million micro, small, and medium enterprises in 2021. They are key drivers of economic growth, job creation, and poverty reduction. Menteri Teten Masduki emphasized that micro, small, and medium enterprises are essential for economic equality and sustainable development. Support in technology, capital, and government assistance is critical to enhance their competitiveness. An example is Cireng Ciwreng, a food-based micro, small, and medium enterprises in East Ungaran, Semarang, producing fried tapioca with various fillings. The business faces challenges in setting competitive prices and calculating production costs accurately. Currently, its cost classification is incomplete and does not follow proper accounting principles, lacking categories like auxiliary materials and factory overhead, including depreciation. To improve competitiveness and profitability, Cireng Ciwreng must adopt process costing methods and effective marketing strategies. Accurate cost classification and efficient resource management are essential for sustaining growth and improving market positioning. And then problem formulation. The first, how can the classification of production costs in accordance with the cost accounting concept be applied to the Cireng Ciwreng business? And the second is, how is the calculation of the cost of production using the process cost method in the Cireng Ciwreng business? And the third is, what is the impact of the application of the correct classification and calculation of production costs on the competitiveness of product and the profit of the Cireng Ciwreng business? And then research objective. The first, identifying the classification of production costs that are in accordance with the cost accounting concept to be applied to the Cireng Ciwreng business. And then calculating the cost of production of the Cireng Ciwreng business using the process cost method. And the last, analyzing the effect of implementing the correct production cost calculation on the cost of the product, competitiveness, and profit of the Cireng Ciwreng business. And the last is benefit of the research. This research is expected to enrich knowledge in the field of cost accounting, especially related to the calculation of cost of goods sold, or in bahasa is HPP or Harga, Pokok, Produksi, using the process cost method for micro, small, and medium enterprises. And the second is, this research is expected to be a practical good for micro, small, and medium enterprises, especially micro, small, and medium enterprises Cireng Ciwreng in managing production costs and calculating accurate production costs to increase the competitiveness and profitability of their business. And the last is, this research is expected to provide benefit to increase knowledge for further research regarding the application of production cost calculation method in other business sector or on a large scale. And then literature review. contains definition of cost accounting, objective of cost accounting, cost of goods sold, method of collecting production costs, and the last is method of determining production costs. Definition of cost accounting. Cost is the sacrifice of resources in the form of acquisition price, exchange value, or other expenditure to achieve specific goals and serves as a deduction from revenue. Cost accounting is the process of recording, classifying, calculating, and reporting costs in the production of goods or services to help management control expenses, improve efficiency, and set competitive prices. This process also includes analyzing and evaluating cost structure to support strategic decision-making, budget planning, and ensuring long-term profitability. And then objective of cost accounting. Objective of cost accounting is cost control, spatial decision-making, and the last is determination of cost of goods. Cost of goods sold. The cost of production is the total expense incurred to process raw materials into finished goods, including raw material costs, labor costs, and factory overhead costs. Raw material costs encompass the main materials and additional expenses such as purchasing and storage. Labor costs consist of direct labor involved in production and indirect labor, such as administrative support. Meanwhile, factory overhead costs cover other expenses not directly trackable, such as auxiliary materials, maintenance, and depreciation. Together, these components determine the cost of the goods produced. And then methods of collecting production costs. The process costing method is for mass production of standardized product, where costs are averaged over a period. In contrast, the job costing method applies to customized production, with costs calculated separately for each order based on direct and indirect costs. And then methods of determining production costs. The full costing method includes all production costs, such as raw materials, direct labor, fixed overhead, and variable overhead, as well as non-production costs like marketing and administration. This method is used for preparing external financial report, focusing on production, marketing, and administrative function. And the second, the variable costing method considers only variable production costs, such as raw materials, direct labor, and variable overhead. In determining the cost of goods, fixed costs are treated as period expenses charged to the period they occur. This method is used for managerial decision-making, with income statement emphasizing cost behavior in relation to activity volume. And the last is research method. Research method contains research approach and design, researchers object and location, data collection method, and the last is weighting method. Research approach and design. This study uses a quantitative method that involves numbers in the process of data collection, interpretation, and conclusion drawing. The aim is to analyze the effect of implementing the right production cost calculation on the cost of goods sold, competitiveness, and profit of Cireng Ciwreng. The data used consists of primary and secondary data. And then researchers object and location. This research was conducted at the Mikro, Small, and Medium Enterprises Cireng Ciwreng business in Ungaran, which still records purchase and sales transaction manually. Manual recording is at risk of causing errors, damage, or loss of important data. Therefore, the researcher chose this business to replace the manual system with a computerized system that can overcome problems and deficiencies in recording. And then data collection method. This study used cross-section data obtained in 1 month to analyze the cost of production of micro, small, and medium enterprises Cireng Ciwreng. Secondary data is obtained from records, financial report, organizational structure, and documents related to production costs. While primary data is collected through observation, interviews, and documentation. And then data collection method. The first is observation. Observation is the collection of direct data on the object being studied through various forms such as questionnaires, checklists, photos, or videos. In this study, non-participant observation was used, where researchers observed directly in the field to find out the production process and business conditions of micro, small, and medium enterprises Cireng Ciwreng, Ungaran. And the second is interview. Guidelet-free interviews were used in this study to obtain in-depth information from Cireng Ciwreng micro, small, and medium enterprises business owners through flexible questions and answer, but still following interview guidelines, where questions can develop according to the interview situation to obtain relevant data. And the last is documentation. Documentation in this study was used to collect data in the form of production cost document, business permits, and photos of the processing process from micro, small, and medium enterprises Cireng Ciwreng, Ungaran, which will be reviewed to support the analysis related to raw material cost, direct labor, and factory overhead, as well as to provide a clearer picture of the research object. And the last is rating method. The first is description. Description is a rating that describes the object of observation, used to explain the general picture of the Cireng Ciwreng micro, small, and medium enterprises business, including its history, vision, mission, and product processing process, and allows for a deeper understanding of the data being investigated. And then the second is comparative. Comparative research is used to compare two or more groups or variables to find differences or similarities. And in this study, the comparative method is used to compare the calculation of production cost with the process cost method and production cost according to micro, small, and medium enterprises Cireng Ciwreng, Ungaran. Thank you for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.